guys, welcome back to another lesson with me. Today I'll be doing the dance van die Reën by Eugene in Marais. I'll be reading stanza by stanza and then I'll be translating. It says here, oor die dans van ons sister, eers oor die bergtop bloos sy skelm en haar oog is kam, en sy lag saggies. En van ver af vink sy met die een hand, haar armbande blink en haar krade skitter. Saggies roep sy vertel die winde van die dans, en sy nooi hulle uit. Want die werf is wyd en die bruiloft groot. Okay? Oh, the dance of our sister. First she peeps over the mountaintop and her eyes are shy. And then she laughs softly. And from afar she waves with one hand. Her bangles shine and her beads sparkle. Softly she tells the wind of the dance. And she invites them because the yard is wide and the wedding is big. Okay. Second stanza. Die groot wild jaag uit die vlaagte. Hulle dam op die bultop. Wyd reik hulle die neusgate. En hulle sluk die wind, en hulle buk, om haar fyn spore op die sand te sien. Die klein volk, diep onder die grond, hoor die sleep van haar voete. En kruip nader en sing saggies. Ons sister, jy het gekom, okay? The big game rushes from the plain, they gather to the top widely, they stretch their nostrils, and they swallow the wind, and they bow, they bend down to see her fine footprints on the sand. The small creatures deep under the ground hear the dragging of her feet, and they creep closer and sing softly, our sister, you have come. Last stanza, en haar krale skit, en haar kopperringe blink, in die weggaat van die son. Op haar voorkop is die vuurpluim van die begeer. Sy traap af van die hoogte, sy sprei die valkeroes met al twee arms uit, die asem van die winddrag werk oor die dans van ons sister. Okay, and her beads shake and her copper rings shine in the disappearing sun. On the forehead is the fire feather of the mountain eagle. She comes down from height, she spreads out her grey carouse with both arms, the breath of the wind disappears, oh, the dance of our sister. Okay, let us look at the analysis, the background of the poem, okay? It says here, is eers leed van die Reën genoem, okay? So initially, this poem was called the Song of the Reën, okay? It says here, Jan Kontedans was die eerste bosman wat 'n viool met veesnare van rattelsennings gemaak het, okay? So Jan Kontedans was the first bushman to make violin with 4 strings and a violin that made rattling sound, okay? It says here, toe dit vir lank nie wou reën nie, het hy op die viool gespeel en dit het begin reën, okay? So like when it wasn't raining for a long time, he just played the violin and it began to rain, okay? It says here, ons het duis hier te doen met die vreugde van die woestynbewoner oor die reën, okay? So, we are dealing here with the joy of the desert dwellers, okay? These are the Khoisan people about the rain, because guys, sometimes when you live in like dry areas, you hardly see rains, okay? You experience droughts, and when the rain comes down, you know, you get that feeling of joy because maybe your crops will grow, okay? And there's life. Whenever there's rain, there's life, okay? Life comes about, like plants growing and all that, okay? It says here, Reën, iets wat baie seldsaam in die woestyn is, okay? So rain is something that's very rare in the desert. It is, okay? And the place, okay, die ruimte, okay? Groot woestyn is die Kalahari, okay? So the big desert, the great desert that they're talking about, they're referring it to the Kalahari. It's actually the Kalahari. So, let us look at the speaker, okay, die spreker, okay, the speaker here is Jan Kontedans, okay, Jan Kontedans, he is the one that's speaking, okay, so Jan Kontedans is a viool speler, okay, Jan Kontedans is a violin speaker, a violin player, okay, so the type of speaker that you're going to find in this poem is an ek-spreker, first person, okay. Let us look at the theme of the poem, die Tema, okay? It says here, opgewondenheid oor die reën, okay? This is excitement about the rain, guys, because they did mention that you would hardly get rain in the desert. So immediately once they hear that thunder growling, that lightning, they get all excited, they jump up, they're like, yay, we're gonna get rain, you know? Cool. Every creature needs water to survive, okay? Not just us humans, okay? It says here stemming with toon. Let us look at the mood or the tone. It says here gelukkig, happy, vreugdevol, joyful, and lyrical, okay? Let us look at the message of the poem. It says here, ons moet bly of dankbaar wees oor die reën, okay? So we should always be happy and grateful for the rain, okay? Cool. Like, we can't imagine life like Earth with no rain. The trees would be dead, there would be no grass, everything. We now start seeing the world in gray, okay? So this poem is written in a vrye vers, okay, free verse, okay, geen vaste rymskema nie, so there's no fixed rhyme scheme. It says here lengtes van die versdeel verskil, okay, so the lengths of the lines vary. Cool. Let us look at the typography of the structure or the bow, or the bold of the poem, okay? Let us look at the outer bold, okay? The outer bold of the poem consists of a subtitle, okay? Here is the subtitle over here. Here, leer van die vioolspeler, Jan kon te dans uit die groot woonstein. That is our subtitle. We have the title and the subtitle, okay? And this poem has 4 stanza and 24 versreels, so 24 lines. And it also has an inkapping, okay, an indentation, like, that white space, that blank space in the poem. It has an indentation, okay, beklemtoon die reël wat volg, of spasie, okay, so it's there to emphasize the line that follows, okay. It says here, stel die reën wat val visueel voor, okay. So it also visually represents the rain falling, okay. Stanza 1 has 9 lines, the second stanza has 8 lines, and the third stanza has 7 lines, okay? It says here dat beeld die nader kom van die reën uit. Eers is dit ver, dan kom dit nader en uiteindelik sak die reën uit, okay? So these stanzas are basically depicting the approach of the rain, because remember it said that first she is far away, okay? It says here loer sy skelm, okay? She's first shy, okay? Yeah, I think it's loer sy skelm. Which one is it? Which one is it? Yeah, loer sy skelm, okay? Haar oge is skaam, okay? She's shy and all that. So first, it's indicating that she's still far, okay? We feel it coming, but it's still a bit far, okay? Then it comes closer, and then the rain falls, okay? Let us look at the inner build of the poem. Innerlike bou. So this poem has progressie. We do know what progression is. The poem is moving. There's a change in setting or context or whatever. Okay, the poem is developing. It says here, die reën is eer ver en beweeg dan al hoe nader en later sak die reën oor die hele woestyn uit. Okay, so how do we know? First of all, how do we know that there's progression? Look at this. The rain at first is very far. Okay. That's what they talked about in the first stanza. And then it moved closer. Second stanza, look how the poem is developing, okay? It's moving, okay? And then the rain falls over the entire desert, okay? So it says here, first bullet point, hulle raak bewus van die reën, okay? So first they're aware of the rain coming, okay? And then dit begin saggies reën, and then it started to rain really softly, and then dan al hoe harder, okay? Now it's raining harder, and then uiteindelik reën dit oor die hele woestyn, okay? So now finally it rained over the whole desert, okay? Cool. In this poem, we're going to find a lot of personification, alliteration, assonance, okay? It is there to bind the poem into one, okay? And in stanza 1, we've got the alliteration of the S sound, okay? Stel die gesuis van die wind voor, okay? It's there to represent the rustling of the wind. When the wind is coming and it's like, ooh, okay? And this, the alliteration of the S sound also throughout the whole of the poem en res van die gedig is die suisgeluid van die reën, okay? It's the rest, the sound, the S sound in the rest of the poem, it is the hissing of the wind. When it starts going, woo, something like that.